Midwest as we are at GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Tonight we're on to week 2 in the NFL season as we've got a good one here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. A 6-year man, Austin Eckler, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Chiefs, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one. They put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football.
A part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. And they'll give him an up and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. Hey, what's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it, and somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Herbert on first down now. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Leo Chenal. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Off a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
Pollard to return from the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. There he goes, left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Chargers. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yep.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88. Now a hit and a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Running on first down, Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Herbert. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Eckler. Touchdown, Chargers. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic, and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Here's Tony to return it as he brings it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
No, bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead is now 21-14. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game... Now the ball comes loose. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And some space here. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
I think what we just saw there with that fumble return is the increased emphasis on taking the ball away from another team. And no one wants to just fall on the football anymore, do they? They want to take it and try and score themselves.
But when you fall 1 yard short of getting in the end zone as a former defender, you know it hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Not only does it hurt, the laughter in film is going to be intense. You are going to get jumped on for not making it all the way to the end zone.
No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. And this one's incomplete. Zero hesitation that time. He just got it and put it out in the right flat. Unfortunately, incomplete.
Well, you know how hard these quarterbacks nowadays work on just getting the ball in their hands and making a quick decision and throwing the football. Didn't work out in this case.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Nicole Hardman from a yard out. And the Chiefs have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start. It's
like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Charger drive about to get going. Losers in the season opener on Sunday, they get that quick turnaround 96 hours later. Here we go. They're back at it. And I've got to think, especially early in the year, that's a good thing for these guys, is it not?
It absolutely is, and we've seen it many times demonstrated over the years. Teams have a rough opening game, have to play the Thursday game. That quick turnaround allows them to go ahead and throw the other game out, focus on the new one, and typically they play much better in game 2, so I would agree with you totally on that.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 43. A good pickup there at 22. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 43. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw here pulled in by Lazard. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the 1st half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Caught by Allen. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Herbert. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Chargers have cut it back within a score. Extra point right down the middle. And they're within 7 now at 28-21. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Here's Tony to return it as he brings it out of the end zone. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well.
An extra point by Butker is on target, and a lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Charger drive about to get going. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And the Chiefs are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
And with that run, he's already at 100 yards here before halftime. So if he sees the same kind of action in the second half, he could be on his way to a career game.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB. And Mahomes picking up the first as he slides and hits the deck. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first, 18 yards that time. I'll tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson, the 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. The mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick 6.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tabbed as one of the best in the league the prior season.
Here's Tony to return it as he brings it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down. Mahomes now to throw. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game. It has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And they are into field goal range now as he's got the first down at the 26. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. That's going to be caught. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Mecole Hardman as the first half is winding down. And the Chiefs will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead now up to 14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Charger drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The final shot before the break for Herbert. That's caught. It's DeAndre Carter. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. Here's Tony to return it as he brings it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Yellow, yellow.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. That's caught at the 25. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ballgame.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack the defense and take them out of the game.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. On first down, it's Herbert. Allen's got it complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Herbert. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Herbert. Give him another one right. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Throwing again on second down. Herbert. This is swung out to Eckler. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 19 yards that time for number 19. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Charger drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Herbert. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And my goodness, another interception. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take over here up near the 40. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. On play action, it's Mahomes. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Kadarius Toney, 50 yards. And the Chiefs are on their way to a 2-0 start. Extra point by Butker is on target. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Pollard to return from the end zone. The Charger drive about to get going. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game. And we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late pull.
And it'll be intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here.
A lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On is the punter, Townsend, as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not. He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown. Austin Eckler, 68 yards. And the Chargers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to 24. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. Here's Tony to return it as he brings it out of the end zone. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he loses the football a second time. And picked up by the Chargers. He was trying to do anything he could to get that final little bit for the first down. Instead, he lost the ball.
Yeah, and he was short of the first down, but not by much. Trying his best, as you noted, to get there. Sometimes that extra effort can cost you.
Now Herbert following the turnover. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Nick Bolton. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. That's pulled in at the 32. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Escaping the pressure right. Herbert has it knocked free, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And it was a game where they were off and running in the 1st quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Chiefs, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Indianapolis next week. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.